Hi guys, I'm Brooke and this is Pippa and we travel full-time in my 2011 Honda Pilot, and today we're going to be talking about first aid kits. I have this one here that you can see in the thumbnail. Obviously it says pet first aid kit, but we share, Pippa and I, for first aid kit. I got a ton of questions this week about first aid because last week I shared on my Instagram story about a fall that I had taken. I won't share like the super gory picture, but falls do happen. I am a little bit of a clumsy person and I do tend to twist an ankle or twist a knee or fall or whatever on some of these back little roads when we're taking walks and stuff with the dog, and I get asked all the time about what I keep for first aid, and honestly it's nothing wilder than what you would bring or have in like your cabinets at home, but mine just happens to be in this little red bag that's labeled first aid. And then I have some other things that don't fit inside this bag because I have added to this over the years that I will show you as well. So this is where I keep most things that I'm not going to use every single day, but I do keep it accessible. I either keep it up front right next to the driver's seat, or I keep it right here. You can't see it, but there's a little bin right here right behind my driver's seat, and I usually just keep it in there. So if something does happen, like the other day when I took a little bit of a fall, and unfortunately for me it was like my entire knee was scraped up and I was like bleeding down my leg, I didn't have to be crawling around in the back or like searching for this to be able to get gauze and to be able to clean out my wound and everything like that, because obviously I am out in nature and I don't obviously want any like infections or any serious medical issues. But I bought this first aid kit. Let me actually look on my Amazon. I can't remember exactly when I bought it, but I know it was first when we started camping. I bought this on August 26, 2018. So I have been carrying this thing around from vehicle to vehicle for almost 5 years now. So let's just go through it together. I'll show you the things that don't fit in there first, so we can just get them out of the way, and then I will show you everything that's in there. So first of all, I have things that I use even outside of medical emergencies. Just the Walmart brand though. It's just naproxen. Yeah, it's just naproxen. And then I have acetaminophen, same thing, just the Walmart brand. I keep these up front because sometimes I have to take them. And then this bottle is, you probably can't tell because I'm a little washed out because the sun is kind of in my face, but I do keep Target brand Benadryl. It's a really crusty, we use Benadryl a lot in this household. Between me and Pippa, we both have a lot of allergies. I usually have this in the first aid kit, but I did have it out the other day because Pippa had gone a little too wild with her running, and I could tell she was in a little bit of pain. If you guys don't know, Pippa is 10, and so sometimes when she gets the zooms in a new spot, she gets a little bit rusty and sore. So this is just some tramadol for Pippa that I had from when she got attacked. They're half tablets, so she just has like a little bit of a pain reliever that she can take, and that's already dosed out for her. I know you're not supposed to keep medications and stuff, but I'm a medication hoarder because we all know the expiration date isn't really the expiration date. And then I just have obviously Neosporin. I like the pain relief one because I think it actually does something different. But obviously Neosporin is good. And then I have some medical tape that's just that like fabric-y kind of tape. And the only reason I had this out was because I had it out for my knee the other day. So I promise it's not too hot out for Pippa, but she's gonna be probably panting in the back because there are treats in here, so she knows. Well, they're not really treats, but I'll show you. Okay, so this little first aid kit is super disorganized because I shove a lot of things in here. But if you look on the website, there's like one pocket for a bunch of stuff, and then there's a pocket on the other side. to hold things as well. But I keep Pippa's heart guard in here, which is why she's looking at me like I'm about to give her a treat, but she doesn't need it today. So I keep her heart guard in there just because it's stored then out of the sun. Same thing with this. I keep some leftover antibiotics for Pippa that are sealed. It's not that I wouldn't take Pippa to the vet. I just keep them around. Who knows why? We all do that stuff. I don't know what it is. Obviously, I have a tick remover for both of us. It's still in the package. We've never had to use it, but I do have like, I think it's called like a hurricane tick remover. Just in case either of us does get a tick, I can remove it without having to drive to the store or order something. And then this little kit comes with like a ton of gauze and stuff. And I used some of this the other day, which is why it's kind of out. So it comes with like different types of gauze. So like non-woven pads and antibacterial gauze pads. It comes with scissors in this little kit already, so I keep these scissors in this kit away from my other scissors so they don't get like swept up into the like junk drawer scissor hole of death that everybody always has, because when you need them in a medical situation, you want them to kind of be like their own thing. And then there's like a bunch of these little alcohol pads in here and just cleansing pads that don't have any alcohol. And then there's a couple like tiny bandages, which these were like for dogs, but I don't know how you would bandage a dog, but whatever. There's so much gauze in here, I'm sure because that's what you use on a dog the most, but there's a lot of gauze that comes in this kit if you buy it from Amazon. Okay, and then on the other side, I have a flea comb for obvious reasons, just in case I ever think Pippa has a flea or a tick or something. I can comb through her and check right away so it doesn't need to turn into a big issue, and then I can get her treated. Or if she just has itchy skin, I use the bigger side and just comb her really close with that. Same thing, she's got some more meds in here. This is trazodone. This is the dog like dosage for Pippa for if she gets any anxiety while we travel. It's pretty full. We have not needed to fill that in a lot of years, but I keep it on hand just in case she ever needs it. And then same thing, there's like, when I say there's so much gauze that comes in this pack, there is so much gauze that comes in this pack, but I was thankful for it the other day when I needed it for my knee because obviously I'm an adult human. But same thing, there's another big bandage that comes in this pack. I haven't had to open that, thankfully. Then there are like little Q-tips that are in like a more sterile package instead of like the Q-tips that just like float around in my car all the time, and I'm sure you could use that to clean out a wound. There are gloves in here in like a little package. I don't know if you guys can see, but like literally I've had this for so long, like the instructions and stuff on the front are like completely rubbed off. Then there is some more like of that gauzy kind of tape. I used this the other day. And then more medical tape. This is the plastic kind, but it's in a package. And then there are some tweezers in here. These are obviously not like great tweezers. I have tweezers in my little center console that I use that are like for your eyebrows that I could always use in an emergency, but it's nice to keep some like cheap ones in here. But then that's all that's in there. Then that's empty. So then once obviously everything is organized and everything, it just gets zipped up in here super quick and it's nice and easy. I'm sure I'm forgetting like tons of things that could be in a first aid kit. I do have some more band-aids that are like in the center console just in case I get like a small cut on like my finger or something. But honestly, whenever either of us gets an injury, it's usually something big. it's never something casual. Kind of it for first aid. Obviously, another tip is to just obviously know where your closest vet and your closest like urgent care, ER, doctor, etc. is when you're out on the road, especially if you're going to be without cell service. Look it up before you go somewhere without cell service. That's kind of all I keep with me. I don't keep a ton of stuff. I'm not going to be like doing surgery on myself in the car. If it's that serious of an injury, I'm either calling 911 or I'm driving myself to urgent care, or I'm driving Pippa to the emergency vet. Like I said before, Pippa has been attacked. We have been in that situation where we've had to go to the emergency vet, and I have also, when Pippa got attacked, I got bitten as well during that attack. So we had that situation already happen, and unfortunately it's just a mess. When you have an emergency situation on the road, it's no different than if you were on a road trip or if you were just in the next town over or whatever. It's just kind of a mess that you have to deal with in that moment, and there's almost no preparation you can do to prevent it, because obviously accidents happen. That's why they are called accidents. So you can be as prepared as you want, and you can have as many medical kits as you want, but you're not going to know exactly what needs to happen until something unfortunately happens. So for me, I just had to call the local emergency vet as I was driving, as my hand was like bleeding out from also getting attacked. And as soon as I dropped him off at the emergency vet, they told me to go to urgent care ASAP, to get stitches in my hand, which I needed to do, and I got a tetanus shot and all that stuff back then. And it's not a good time, but there's nothing you can really do to prepare for it. It worked the exact same way as if it would have happened down the street from an apartment. It was just an unfortunate emergency event, but I do like to keep little things obviously on hand for if I do take a fall, or Pippa gets a thorn in her paw, or most likely Pippa gets bit by red ants a lot because she stands in their little house like thing. If you've been out west, you know what I'm talking about with the red ants. They're not really fire ants, but they're like those biting red ants. And I just have to put Neosporin on it, put a sock on her foot, and then give her a Benadryl, so then the swelling will go down, and it really saves you a trip to the emergency vet in that moment if you are prepared and have some stuff. So if you have other things that you travel with, you can obviously leave them down below for other people to read, but that's just what I carry with me. It's worked for us the entire time we've been full-time on the road, and obviously I bought it back in 2018, so when we were just casually traveling and camping out of the back of my car then. And so I hope this helps give somebody ideas. I will obviously link this exact kit below, but like I said, I don't know exactly what it comes with anymore because I've added to it over the years. So I encourage you to do the same thing. Maybe buy like a base kit so you have all the basics, and then add to it with your own specific needs for whatever you are doing. So yeah, so I hope this helps, and stay safe out there, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.